so if you're just tuning in, again, welcome. I'm Sheila from the YMCA, and we are going to get started on a yoga flow. So the first thing we're going to do, find that nice long spine. Those sit bones are ground in. Think of the sit bones as your feet, right? When you're seated, it's like your feet. It's where we build the pose off of. And we have this long spine that's kind of the tree trunk, right? And our head is over our heart, our shoulders are over our hips. We've got this long spine. Now, just to kind of loosen us up a little bit, we're going to move side to side in what is often called kind of this just wave motion, right? So just kind of moving side to side, just loosening things up, all right? All right, and then let's come back to center, and to keep that movement going, let's go ahead and roll those shoulders, bringing them up to the ears and down and back, up to the ears. All right, keeping that nice long spine. If you want to reverse, you're welcome to roll the other way or stay the original way, whichever feels better for you. All right, now we are going to take a moment just to settle into our breathing. So to do that, let's take a big open mouth inhale, and then we're going to take an open mouth exhale, okay? So a nice big, and one more, just a big, since we're all alone, this is something we can do. And just an open mouth exhale and just let it release. Okay. Now, in class, you hear me say a lot, pull that belly in and up, or I talk about the Uddiyana Bandha, that abdominal lock that helps protect our lower back when we're moving. So we're going to take a few deep inhales and exhales. So from right now, let's just go ahead, let everything out. And now pull that belly in, feel it come in and up. And then continue your inhale and then exhale. Now pull that belly in and up. Exhale. And again, pull that belly in and up. Now, as you inhale, really fill that belly, push that belly out. And as you exhale, when you get to the end of that exhale, pull that belly in and up. So as you inhale, fill that belly up. As you exhale, pull that belly in and up. Now, just go ahead and settle into your own breathing for a few minutes, okay? Go ahead and close your eyes if you'd like, if you want to move your neck side to side. And I'll share our quote for the day. It is from Francis of Assisi, and I recently read it in our ELCE email, the Environmental Learning Center, and I could see why it was so fitting for right now. Start by doing what's necessary. Then do what's possible. And suddenly you are doing the impossible. And the ELC shared that, I think for the same reason, is that it is so appropriate, right? We started by doing what was necessary. We're kind of in this big journey right now in our community, in our world, in our families, where we're doing what's necessary. And then we're going to start to do what's possible. And then we'll get to that point where what seemed impossible becomes possible. So it's just part of this journey, and lets us think about that this is just all a journey, right? It's like so many things in life. Different journey for all of us, right? Different levels of stress in this journey, depending on what's going on in your home, in your family, in your job. So we all have a different journey, but we're on that journey where we move from what's necessary to what's possible, and then finally we'll be doing what seemed impossible. Maybe what seems impossible right now is a place we'll eventually be to. So, all right, so now let's continue on our journey with some yoga, okay? So if your eyes are closed, go ahead and open those eyes, all right? And we are just going to do a little bit of our lateral movement to get that spine opened up. So if you're on a block, you can stay on that for a little bit. Go ahead and let those left fingers go down to the mat. If you're on a block, if you're on the floor, whatever level is comfortable. And then just inhale that right arm up and over. And just hold for a few breaths. Now pull that belly in and up and come back to center. Let the other arm come up and over. And we're going to hold for a few breaths. Let's go back to the original side. Our practice today has a lot of lateral movements, a lot of heart opening movements. Let's go back to the other side. A lot of hip opening movements. A lot of opening, I guess you could say, a lot of creating space. So we're creating space as we move back and forth in this lateral movement. All right, now if you're on a block, go ahead and come off of that block. If you're on just a blanket, you can stay on that. We're going to go into that deeper lateral stretch where we plant an elbow down on the mat, let the palm come down to the mat, right sit bone or up, whichever way you're starting comes off the mat. And then just skim that hand by your face. Allow that just deep stretch where you're opening up that hip. Really breathe into that. All right, let's take that top hand, just walk it through center till we come upright again. And let's switch to the other side, planting that elbow, planting that hand. You all know this is one of my favorite stretches. That sit bone comes off the mat. We skim that hand by the face. Again, that lateral movement, opening up, finding space right now. All right, let's bring that hand back through center and come on up. Now just a little spinal twist before we move to all fours. So let's inhale those arms out to the side, and on an exhale, begin to twist any direction you choose. I guess you only have two choices, right? And when you are at your spot, go ahead and let that front arm come to the knee, back arm comes behind you. Keep that nice long spine. Right, we're twisting from here on up. Our sit bones are staying grounded in. Now let's release that, bringing our hands back to center. Inhale those arms out to the side, and on the exhale, we're going to take a little twist, walking those hands back. Awesome. Now let's release that. We are going to move into cow and cat. So we're going to come to tabletop. If you are more comfortable staying in seated cow and cat, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, let's go ahead and come to our tabletop. All right. Whether we are doing cat and cow and tabletop or seated, I want you to look down at your hands for just a minute. And think a little bit about down dog right now, okay? Because it's a little easier to think about our hands when we're not actually in down dog. Oftentimes I talk about really pressing into the knuckles of your thumbs and your first fingers, right? And we talk about really clawing into the mat. And we're not clawing where we're rounding our hand. You know, our palm is flat on the ground. But we are really clawing into that mat. So just take a moment to kind of set your hands, think ahead to that down dog, and know what that feels like when you really push into the knuckles of your thumb. Now push into the knuckles on your first finger, your second finger, your third finger. No, actually I counted wrong. Fourth and fifth, you know, all the fingers, all right? Okay, so while we're strengthening those wrists, we're also trying to lift some of the pressure off of the heel of the hand. All right, from here, let's move into that cow and cat. Find your tabletop, find that strong alignment, and when you are ready, drop that belly, lift that gaze into a happy cow. And on the exhale, tuck the tail in, round the spine, tuck the chin into that halloween cat. Inhale, drop that belly for cow. Exhale, arch for cat. Now continue following your own inhales and your exhales. A few more cows, a few more cats. All right, maybe do one of each. And when you are ready, we're going to meet back at that tabletop. And just take a little moment where you send your hips to the left and you look out over the right. Send your hips in the opposite direction, look in the opposite way. So we're just a little side to side movement. Again, opening up laterally. And then let's come on back to center. And now let's curl the toes under. We're going to do a combination of cow and hovering table. So on your next inhale, you're going to drop that belly, lift that gaze, find your happy cow. And on the exhale, you're going to lift your knees an inch off the ground, 2 inches, 5 inches. Pull that belly in for kind of a hovering table. Now release that down, drop that belly for a cow, lift that gaze. On the exhale, pull that belly in, lift those knees off the ground, hover that table, and release that down. Now we'll go more 1 breath per movement. So inhale, drop that belly, lift that gaze for cow. Exhale, lift for hovering table. Inhale, drop that belly, lift that gaze for cow. Exhale, hovering table. Inhale, drop that belly. Exhale, hovering table. Now stay here just a minute and push your toes towards the back of the mat as you're pulling your hands towards your center, okay? You can really feel everything activate. Now let those knees come down to the mat. Bring your big toes to touch. Bring those knees out to the side and find your version of child's pose, all right? If you're in seated, you can also move into a seated child's pose. And just ease your way down towards the mat. Maybe walk those hands out long in front of you. And take a few breaths. Now either stay just as you are, or if you'd like, walk your hands over to the right. And go ahead and place that left hand on top of that right hand. We're getting kind of this moon shape, right? Where, you know, if you think about the way you are right now in this lateral stretch, we've got a little bit of a moon shape, half moon shape, crescent moon. Now let's walk those hands back through the middle. Let's go over to the other side. Again, you can place that right hand on top of that left hand. Push into that a little bit. Awesome, let's come back to center and slowly come back up to your tabletop. From here, we're going to move to down dog. So let's step our hands forward about a hand's length. Tuck those toes under, send those hips up and back. And find your down dog. Feel free to pedal that out if you want. All right, moving side to side. Feel free to put a really good bend in those knees, bringing your belly closer to those to your thighs. Now take a moment as you're moving around to think about those hands that we talked about in all fours. Really push into the knuckles and feel some of the weight coming off of the heel of your hand. All right, you're really kind of clawing into that mat. Okay, and right now we're going to go ahead and find a little stillness in our dog. Walk our feet together so the big toes touch. Find that length in your spine. We're going to just breathe for a minute. And we are going to move into three-legged dog on the right side. So inhale that right leg high. Bend that knee. We're going to help it or step it through to find that low lunge. All right. Take a minute when you get to your low lunge. Maybe you want to rock back and forth just a little bit, get a little movement. Really activate that back leg. And now let's move into our low lunge twist. Place that left hand down while that right hand opens up. Back leg is strong. Wiggle those fingers, activate that whole arm. And now let's slowly, slowly, slowly release that down. Stepping back into our high plank or our knees plank. All right, take a moment here, really push that earth away. All right, belly is pulled in. Now we're going to hug those elbows to our ribs and slowly lower all the way down. When you get down, if you need to adjust yourself a little bit so you still have some mat. All right, we're going to move into a few baby cobras. So make sure your hands are framing your rib cage. Your elbows are pulled in, shoulders are down and back. And on your next inhale, we're going to inhale and come up. Exhale, release. Take an inhale and an exhale. And now we're going to inhale on up. Exhale, release. Now take a breath or two. And on your next inhale, keeping those elbows hugged in, let's come up, maybe just a touch higher. Really activate that belly. We're pulling it in as we come up. And then let's release down. Now we're going to move into high plank or knees plank. So get ready to just tighten that belly. Push yourself away from the mat. It's always that funny feeling to me. I don't know why. All right, and now we're in that high plank or knees plank. Take a moment here, and now let's push back to that down dog. All right, repeating that sequence. On our left side, we inhale that left leg high. I can skim the window, bend that knee, and gently help or lift it, walk it, step it through to find your low lunge. Knee is over ankle. Back leg is really engaged. Just as we gently open that hip. Stretch that hip flexor. Now to move into our twist, let's plant our right hand down and just gently open up into that twist. Keep that back leg active. Wiggle those fingertips. Awesome. Let's release that hand on down. Let's step back into that high plank. Okay. Now we're just going to do a few toe taps here. You can be in a high plank or a knees plank right now. Belly is pulled in. And just gently, carefully, we're going to tap the right foot out, in, left foot out, in, right foot out, in, left, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in. Now come back to that down dog. All right, from here, let's walk those feet forward. Take little teeny baby steps till you find your forward fold, all right? Adjust if you need to. I always have these points where I have to stop and pull out my pants, I guess. All right, so go ahead in that first forward fold. Put a bend in those knees, right? Really let that lower back release, those hamstrings release, arms release. Now roll those wrists out, one direction, then the other.
Shake that head yes. Shake that head no. Come on back to yes. All right, now go ahead and just place your fingertips on the ground. So bend your knees as much as you need to get your fingertips to touch. We're just going to come up on our toes. So we're lifting those heels. Now release those heels to the mat and let's lift those toes off the mat. One more time, up on our heels. Lower those heels and lift those toes, or you can lift the front part of your foot as well. Now release that down. Heel toe your feet apart, so they're about hip width apart if your feet aren't that far right now. And we're just going to do a little ragdoll forward fold. We're just going to move, little side to side movement. Again, let the head hang long. You've got kind of this picture frame of your face. All right, now when you're ready, come on back to center. And we are going to slowly walk those hands up to find our half lift. All right, so we're looking for this long spine. We've got this length, almost that tug of war, right? That our crown of our head is going in one direction, our tail in the other. Breathe. And let's melt into that forward fold. On our next inhale, let's come to that half lift again. Let's add those hummingbird arms. Belly's pulled in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, let's bend those knees. Circle sweep those arms up. Let's come up slowly, since we've been upside down for so long. Exhale, down to forward fold again. Inhale, half lift with hummingbird arms or airplane arms. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend those knees, circle, sweep those arms. Come up to your tall mountain. Exhale, hands through heart center. Let's sweep those arms around up to tall mountain one more time. Let's just come up on our toes, all right? A little balancing. We're lifting those heels off the ground just for 3, 2, 1. And as we come down, let's come down into Utkatasana, into our chair. Hands can be lifted at heart center, wherever you prefer. Belly's pulled in. Just for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's bend those knees, sweep those arms up, come up to that tall mountain. Exhale, into your forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend those knees, circle, sweep those arms up. Come up to your tall mountain, up on your toes. For 3, 2, 1. Heels down, hands through heart center. Samastitihi. Now we're going to move to Warrior 1, followed by our Warrior 3. So position yourself on the mat so when you go to your Warrior 3, you have enough room in front of you, if that's possible, because I know we're all in different locations in our houses or wherever we are. All right, so feet are together and we are going to step that left foot back for Warrior 1. So go ahead and find your distance for Warrior 1. Back foot is at a little bit of an angle, okay? Hips are squared forward. Let's inhale those arms up. Let the shoulders come down. Now let's open up to cactus arms. Open up that heart. Awesome. Let's come back to Warrior 1 arms. Now from here, we're going to hinge at the hips and we are going to bend into airplane arms, all right, or hummingbird wings. You choose. So we inhale Warrior 1 arms. Exhale, hummingbird arms. Inhale, Warrior 1. Exhale, hummingbird. Inhale, Warrior 1. So let's let those hands come down to our waist. Let's shorten our stance a little bit. We're going to get ready for warrior three. So we're shortening our stance. That right foot is our standing leg. Maybe we're putting a little bounce in, a little bend to get ready. And when you are ready, you're going to hinge at the hips. Begin to bend forward into that warrior three, choosing where you want your arms, okay? Heart center, your waist, they can be out in that hummingbird or that airplane. They can be out long in front of you. All right, it's whichever you prefer. Really pull that belly in. And when you're ready, we're going to come out of that and come into chair. All right, so when you're ready, either come out of it like I did by wobbling, or gracefully come out and find Utkatasana. All right, now let's bend those knees, sweep those arms up, come up to tall mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, find that length. Exhale, fold. Bend those knees, sweep those arms up. Bring your hands through heart center, Samastitihi. Preparing for a warrior on the other side. This time our left leg is staying forward, and we are stepping back with that right leg. So when you're ready, go ahead, step back. Find your warrior one. Adjust your hips. All right. Find those warrior one arms. Let those shoulders come down and back. Again, open up to cactus arms. Really open that heart, open that chest. And come on back, warrior one. From here, we'll move between warrior one arms and hummingbird arms or airplane. So warrior one. And as we exhale, we go into hummingbird. Inhale. Exhale. Hummingbird. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale. Hummingbird. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right, let's go ahead and shorten that stance a little bit. Again, preparing for warrior three on this side. Find that drishti, that focal point, okay? When you're ready, we're just going to hinge at the hips. Lift that foot up any amount you wish, okay? Keep that leg strong and active. Remember, maybe you want your arms at your heart center. Maybe you want your arms behind you. Take advantage of being in your house, because sometimes just by putting your hand near something, it gives you a little extra stability, a little extra play. All right, now when you're ready, let's let that leg come down and meet in Utkatasana, chair. You know, warrior threes are such a great pose to do for so many reasons. You know, the balance, obviously the balance, but it teaches us to lean forward, lean over that edge, which is something we do in our daily life, right? All right, just for 3, 2, 1. Let's bring our hands to heart center. Hands long in front of us. We've still got our chair legs going on. Bring the backs of the hands to touch. Interlace. Open that heart. Okay? Now we're going to tip forward in our hummingbird. We're just tipping forward a little bit. Release those arms into your hummingbird, and when you're ready, come up on those toes. Just for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let those heels come down back into Utkatasana, chair. For 3, 2, 1. Let's dive down into that forward fold. Take a few breaths here. And now let's slowly inhale to your version of your half lift. And exhale on your exhale into your fold. Let's bend those knees, sweep those arms up. Hands come through to heart center. Samastitihi. All right, Warrior two series on our right side. So just reposition yourself on your mat, okay? And when you are ready, go ahead and lift up that left leg, okay? We've got one-legged mountain going on here, all right? And now just carefully start stepping it back, and then let that heel come down. Wiggle your foot. Just find your warrior two, all right? Awesome. When you get your head over your heart, your shoulders over your hips, go ahead and add those strong warrior arms. Make sure that knee is tracking over the ankle or behind it. And maybe just bend that knee into that knee a little bit more today. Let's flip that front palm, reverse our warrior. Really, again, opening up the side body. We're creating space for what seems impossible, right? Now let's come on back to that warrior two. Gaze out over those strong warrior arms. Now let's reach forward to that extended side angle, letting that front arm come down, back arm comes up, or all the way over, or in a bind, okay, whichever you prefer. We're just gonna hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull that belly in and up, that Uddiyana Bandha. Come back to that warrior two. Now we're going to move into fierce warrior. Fierce is in strong warrior, okay? So we'll go through it once slowly, and then we'll move it to 1 breath per movement. So we are going to bring our arms through center as we straighten that leg. I think of this as like a volcano, right? We're inhaling, and then on the exhale, we're coming back through heart center, and we're pushing out. Okay, fingertips are up, arms are strong. We've got this fierce warrior. So we inhale, bring our arms through center, open up, leg is straight. Exhale, fierce warrior, push away. Inhale through heart center, open up. Exhale, fierce warrior. Inhale through heart center, straighten that front leg. Exhale, find your fierce warrior. Inhale through heart center, open. Exhale, fierce warrior. Let's hold that fierce warrior for a minute. Okay, arms are super strong. If your shoulders have come up, let them come down. Just for 5, 4, feel yourself pushing away, right? The arms are completely sparked and activated. And let's roll those wrists, release those hands down, roll the shoulders. So let's straighten that front leg and reverse our triangle. Opening up, creating space. Now, let's bring those arms back center, and we'll move into our full triangle by reaching forward, letting that front arm come down to the shin, to the floor, wherever you prefer. Awesome. Gaze can be up at that top hand, can be down towards your feet, but your front foot. Okay, now we're going to pull that belly in and up, and come on up. Find that warrior two. Let's release those arms down, roll those shoulders, moving into our goddess feet, all right? So we've got toes out, heels in, okay? And when you are ready, you're going to inhale to that 5-pointed star. Really open up your heart, open up your chest as you do that. And as you exhale, find your goddess, all right? I always think that first time we come down into goddess, it takes us a minute maybe to adjust. Find that stable position. Our tail is slightly tucked, knees and feet going in the same direction. All right, let's inhale to 5-pointed star. Exhale to goddess. Inhale to 5-pointed star. Exhale to goddess.
Now for a little more lateral movement, we're going to place our right hand on our knee, okay? This left hand, we're going to sweep over and up, all right? So it's just coming up. Now let's let that left arm come down to the left knee. Right arm just sweeps up to open. Exhale, release that down. Inhale the left arm. Exhale, release that down. Inhale the right. Exhale, release that down. One more on each side. Okay. Creating space, opening up. Hands come back to rest. Now let's straighten those legs, right? Maybe wiggle a little bit. Inhale those arms up high. Let's open into that five-pointed star. Let's come down again. Now this time let's just do some regular lateral flexion where we straighten that leg as we open that side. Okay, a little bit. Let's go back to five-pointed star, and let's go ahead and bring those hands through to heart center, preparing for warrior two on the other side, okay? So this is warrior two on the left side, unless you did it the other way, then, right, no worries. Just always do both ways. Check out your heel to heel or heel to arch alignment. Oop, mine's a little cattywampus. All right. Find those strong warrior arms. Wiggle those fingers, let those shoulders come down and back. Really plug them in to your shoulders. Now let's flip that front palm and reverse that warrior. Opening up. Let's come back to that warrior two. All right, now let's reach forward for that extended side angle, letting that arm come down. Back arm comes up, over if that's comfortable for you, in a bind. Again, whichever you prefer. Wiggle those fingertips and feel that energy, that long line of energy from your fingertips down to your toes on your back foot. Now let's come back to that warrior two. All right, so we're going to do that fierce warrior on this side, all right? So when we inhale, we straighten that leg, bring those arms, open ourselves up. Exhale, we come into that fierce warrior. Inhale, it's like a volcano opening up. Exhale, fierce warrior. Inhale, open up, straighten that leg. Exhale, hands through heart center, push away. Inhale, open up. Exhale, hands through heart center, push away. One more, inhale, open up, really open up. Exhale, bring those hands through heart center and now really push away, okay? Arms are activated. The fierce warrior lets us move forward, right? To find what seemed impossible, to make it possible. All right, let's roll those wrists. Release those shoulders down. Moving into reverse triangle. Let's straighten that front leg. Open up that side body. And now let's find those warrior two arms as we reach forward, letting that front arm come down to the shin, to the floor, wherever we're most comfortable, to a block. And we open. All right, now make sure that front leg isn't locked. We're going to push into the feet, pull in that belly, and come on up to that warrior two. All right, from here, let's release that down. Let's bring our toes straight forward instead of in our goddess feet. All right, let's bring our feet, toes parallel or slightly pigeon-toed. Okay, and go ahead and bring the backs of your hands out in front of you.
Wind them around behind you, interlace those hands, open that heart, and we are going to do a forward fold. If you're comfortable keeping your hands folded as we go down, go ahead and do that. If not, release them. Okay. So we're going to just take a few breaths here. Now put a bend in those knees. Carefully move those shoulders and hands back down as we roll up. Awesome. Release those arms down. Now inhale those arms high. And on an exhale, we're going to hinge at the hips. Begin to fold forward, letting those hands come down right in front of us. Let's place the left hand on the mat. Let's open up the right arm with a twist, a wide leg forward fold twist. And release that down. Sweep the left arm up again, or whichever arm you're choosing. A little twist, so ring out that spine, and release that down. Put a bend in those knees. We're going to slowly roll up. Let those shoulders come down and back. And now we're going to go into a sustained wide leg forward fold. So if you would like to grab your block, or you'd like to widen your stance, we're going to do that. So just inhale those arms up high, and on an exhale, we're just going to carefully kind of swan dive forward fold, letting those hands come down to the mat. All right, in this position, we're going to stay for a number of breaths. So find your comfortable spot. Maybe you want that block because you want your head to come down to the block. Or you want to walk your hands through center. Or you want to wrap your hands around your ankles. Find the position that's most comfortable for you. And really find those deep breaths. Find that opening up. Even upside down, right? We can open up. If your head is hanging, go ahead and shake that to release that a little bit. All right, we are going to prepare to come up. So go ahead and make sure your hands are underneath your face. Boy, I sure said go ahead a lot. Just carry on. All right, go ahead. Just did it again. Put your hands underneath your face. Maybe if your stance is really wide, you want to heel toe it in a bit. Either way, just put a bend in those legs and just slowly roll up. Roll those shoulders down and back. Open that heart. And now let's heel toe those feet together. Okay, really working muscles in the feet as we come together. Let's inhale, tall mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to your half lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Stepping back into your down dog, your last down dog, okay? Maybe a little pedaling out. Drawing your attention back to those knuckles and really engaging the knuckles of your hands. Now let's let those knees float down and then swing your feet either way, right? One way or another. We're going to come to seated with our legs long in front of us. So, just going to move that block out of the way a little bit. All right. Let's just do a teeny bit of boating, shall we? Okay. Go ahead, feet are flat on the floor, knees are bent. Grab behind your thighs, and when you're ready, just lean back a touch, and then that's maybe when you lift one leg or the other leg. Okay, we're not letting that belly and that spine just roll down. We're keeping it lifted, that chest is lifted, heart is open, knees can be pressing together, arms can be out to the side at heart center. whatever you prefer. Long spine, lifted chest for 3, 2, 1. Let those feet come down. We're just going to roll our head forward towards our knees for a minute. Coming back into that boat pose, all right? Tiptoe those feet up a little bit so they're closer. Stay in contact with those sit bones and that tailbone. And when you're ready, lift one leg or both legs, keeping this long spine. Shoulders are down. For 3, 2, 1. Now this time let's just cross our legs and forward fold, letting that head come to whatever level towards the mat. Release that lower back. Now slowly roll up, and whichever leg's in front, put that one behind, okay? And then we're just gonna roll forward again. And you'll feel it differently both times in your hips. All right, let's come on up to seated. Let's move into a little sage twist. Okay, so our left leg is long in front of us. Right knee is bent and coming into our chest. Let's wrap the opposite arm around that leg. So right knee is in, left leg is around. Inhale that right arm up, and then on the exhale, let it open up. So you got a little spinal twist. Releasing that, coming back to center. Onto the other side, the left leg comes up, right leg wraps around it. We're going to inhale that left arm up, open, bring it down behind us, wherever that's comfortable. Our gaze is towards our back hand. And let's come back to center. From here, let's slowly, slowly, slowly roll down, okay? So again, sit bones are grounded in. We move that little fleshy part away. Heels are grounded in. We have this long spine. Inhale those arms up high. Bring them forward in front of you. Clasp those hands. Here's our church, here's our steeple. Stare at the front fingers, the long index fingers, and pull that belly in and just slowly, slowly, slowly roll down. And when you get down, then allow yourself that full body stretch. Maybe you need to adjust wherever you're laying. All right. Okay, when you're ready, go ahead and bring your hands down by your side. We're going to move into a little bit of a bridge. Not a little bit of a bridge, we're going to do a bridge. Just a little bit of a bridge. All right, when you're ready, push into those feet, push into those hands. Let's lift those hips up and off the ground. Remember, if you have a block, or if you feel like when you're in bridge, your knees start splaying out, you can always put a block between your thighs to help with that. Keep your chin gently tucked. Maybe walk those hands in. And breathe. Keep pushing into those feet. And now let's release that down. Bring those knees to the chest. A little rolling around. All right. From here, let's put our feet back into bridge position. And we're going to bring our right leg up over our left leg. So we've got our supine figure 4. If you wish, go ahead and gently push that right leg away from you a little bit. Just gentle pressure. Stay here for as long as you like, or when you're ready, maybe you want to thread
those hands through, pulling that left thigh back to you for a supine pigeon. Engage both of those feet, flex them nice and strong. Keep breathing. Release that side. Moving to the other side. This time our left leg comes up and over, so we're crossed in this supine figure 4. If we want to push that left leg away from us, we can. And again, stay in this position as long as you like, but when you're ready, go ahead and reach through to thread the needle. Now when you're in this supine pigeon, if you wish, you can also take that, take the left elbow to gently push that left, below the left knee, never push on the knee, a little bit away from you, changes the stretch a little bit. Okay, we are going to get ready to untwist. So when you're ready, go ahead and untwist. Let that left leg go long. Bring that right knee to your chest. Roll that ankle out a little bit. And then for our last twist, we're going to let that right knee, did I say left knee? Bring the right knee into your chest. Let's let that right knee cross midline, coming towards the floor. Right hand can go out into a T. Left arm can stay on that knee, just for a gentle spinal twist. Sometimes you have to move your hips to find the right position for your spinal twist. Now let's bring that knee back center. One more tight hug to the chest and release that down. Let's bring that left knee to center. Roll that wrist, well, you can roll your wrist out too. Roll that ankle out, one direction and the other. All right, now let's go into that gentle spinal twist on this side. Again, letting that left leg cross midline and come down. Left arm comes to a T if that's comfortable. Again, if you need to move, maybe you want to move on your hips a little bit. All right. Gaze is towards the ceiling. Shoulders stay engaged so they're both still touching the mat. Breathe. And we want to bring that left knee back to the chest. Do it in a tight squeeze. Bring both knees into the chest. Okay, just a little bit of rocking. Maybe you reach through to grab either the insides or the outsides of your feet for either a little dead bug or a little happy baby. We're keeping that tailbone moving towards the ground. All right, let's go ahead and bring those knees into the chest. One last little hug. Release them long in front of us as you begin to release for your Shavasana. So find the spot that's comfy for you. Let your feet fall open. Your arms fall open if that's comfortable. Or you can have one arm on your belly, one arm on your heart. And let yourself just melt into the mat. Feel free to close your eyes. Maybe you nuzzle those shoulder blades under. Just let your body feel heavy and relaxed, not active as it's been in the practice. We'll stay here for a few breaths. And while you carefully breathe, I'm going to go back to our original quote that started our practice from Francis of Assisi. Start by doing what's necessary. Our journey starts by doing what's necessary. Then do what's possible. And suddenly, you are doing the impossible. What's necessary, then what's possible, the possibilities. And the possibilities become the realities, and what seemed impossible becomes possible. When you are ready, if you would like to stay in Shavasana, you're welcome to do that. For myself and some of you, I'm going to close off the practice. So if you'd like to roll onto your side, either side, and then gently bring yourself back to that easy seated position, I will meet you there. All right. Now let's just take a nice, easy inhale as we bring those shoulders up, bring those hands through heart center. The light in me honors the light in you. The teacher in me honors the teacher in you. The light in you lifts me, lifts you, and lifts others. Namaste.